Now at 7 o'clock, a hit and run on Marine Drive leaves one woman dead. More details from North Portland coming up. Plus,
every side is going to say you need to stop this rhetoric right now when the violence has been acted out against their side.
A shooting at an ICE facility in Texas drawing criticism over how local officials use rhetoric surrounding ICE. And later,
video that shows the moment a food cart exploded this week in Southeast Portland. What the owners of those carts at that pod are doing to pick up the pieces and how you can help out. Sunrise streaming live here at 7 o'clock starts right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. There's a lot of headlines to get to on this Thursday morning, but we do want to check in with Rod and Chris first for a look at weather and traffic.
Yeah, good morning. Another really nice day coming up. We do have a red flag warning up for high fire danger today. I haven't seen this in a little while. This is from Hood River out to the east. That's because of a return to gusty west winds from Hood River eastward. This afternoon blowing to about 35. The Dalles has breezy winds to 20, you folks, right now. Here in the valley and up into southwest Washington, light winds, clear skies, another beautiful day. Look at this, the pretty colors on the Columbia River waters there. The springs at the waterfront is the camera. 54 is the temperature. There's downtown looking across the Willamette. 55 degrees. Again, another sunny, really nice day. We've been in the 80s the last 2 days. Not as warm today, but really pleasant outside. 66 degrees at noon. And about the time the kids get out of school, I think 3 o'clock or so, we'll be up to around 70 degrees. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that. I want to take you back out live to Hillsborough, the seat of this traffic alert. Near the Hillsborough Hops New Ballpark, you're looking at a really mangled crash scene here where a car has gone into a tree. We have no word on the extent of injuries, but photojournalist Eric Patterson's been on the scene for a little bit. Hillsborough Fire had to use the heavy equipment to get the driver out of that car. This is on Northeast Century and Bennett. So obviously Bennett right now is blocked at the scene. We're working to get more details on this, but just a really terrible looking crash scene there. We will keep you posted as we get more information. All right, back to the Freeway Drive. This is I-5 live at, well, right at the 405 split, so right near the Fremont Bridge. Obviously the drive getting busier on that side of town as it is extending back into Clark County. And so with that in mind, the drive times shape out like this. 18 minutes to get you in from Troutdale. That's Interstate 84, of course. The I-5 drive, though, leads the way in the slow department. 20 minutes now is your southbound commute from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Drew, China.
Thank you, Chris. We start with breaking news overnight. A woman is dead after a hit and run on North Marine Drive near North Anchor Way. When Portland police arrived at the scene at 10:40 last night, they found the woman dead. They say the driver left the scene and no one has been arrested. Anyone with information is asked to contact police.
A 9-year-old boy is in the hospital this morning with life-threatening injuries after he was hit by a car while riding an e-scooter. Police say this happened just after 7:30 last night in Southeast Portland near 122nd and Lincoln. They also say the driver of the car did stay at the scene and is cooperating with investigators.
Vancouver police are searching for this girl on your screen here in a second. 13-year-old Eva Sanchez. Take a good look at your screen. Police say that she has a medical condition and was last seen on Main Street yesterday afternoon. She's described as being thin with long dark brown hair. If you see her, call 911.
A Portland man is set to be deported this morning after he was arrested last week.
He was one of 2 people arrested by ICE in North Portland. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live from downtown after hearing from his family. Corey.
That's right. The daughter of that man says her family hopes that by sharing this update, something can be done to either postpone or even stop her father's deportation altogether. Elizabeth Areola Ramirez said immigration officials would not say where exactly they would be deporting her father, whom she identified as Rafael Areola Caballero. But the family assumes Mexico. On September 16th, federal immigration officials arrested Caballero on his way to work, breaking his car window. On Wednesday, Ramirez said her father called from the ICE facility in Tacoma, Washington, to say he would be deported this morning. According to Ramirez, Caballero moved to the United States from Mexico 20 years ago and is undocumented. She believes traffic violations are the only thing on his record.
All of us are scared because we don't know where he's going, so we don't know where to call. We don't know how to reach him. We'll be getting justice regardless if he does get deported or not.
Now, we reached out to ICE officials for comment on the deportation. We have not heard back yet. Drew, China.
All right, Corey Johnson live for us this morning there in downtown Portland. Meanwhile, investigators are still working on a motive that led a man to open fire on an ICE field office in Dallas, Texas yesterday.
NBC's Alice Bauer has more details on the shooter after FBI agents say that they found bullet casings etched with anti-ICE messaging.
This morning, growing questions and fallout from the deadly shooting at an ICE field office in Dallas, with top officials promising heightened security.
Making sure that our ICE officers have the ability to operate safely. In fact, they've seen 1,000% increase in violent attacks against them.
A gunman on Wednesday firing from a nearby rooftop hit a transport van, killing a detainee inside it and critically wounding 2 others before taking his own life. No officers were hurt but are believed to be the target.
Rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
Investigators releasing this image of a bullet casing etched with the words anti-ICE, along with photos of bullet holes in a window and an American flag inside the facility. Multiple senior law enforcement officials identifying the suspect as 29-year-old Joshua John. His brother told NBC News John didn't have strong feelings about ICE and wasn't interested in politics on either side as far as he knew. President Trump blaming Democrats, posting, "I am calling on all Democrats to stop this rhetoric against ICE and America's law enforcement right now." Top Republicans with similar messages.
To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
One Dallas pastor who's been praying with other clergy members outside Dallas ICE headquarters, calling for justice for migrants and against violence, speaking out against the shooting.
It couldn't be more opposite of the kind of message that we've been trying to witness to.
Among the voices now calling for common ground. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Meanwhile, we know the Portland ICE facility near the South Waterfront has been at the center of many heated protests and has also been criticized by local politicians. Conservative talk show host Lars Larson blamed Portland Mayor Keith Wilson and other local leaders, saying that the rhetoric they've used about ICE has caused the problems at the city's ICE facility. That echoes what top immigration and customs enforcement officials said after yesterday's shooting in Texas. Here's more from Lars Larson, followed by Portland State University professor Alexander Ross.
Do we have threats against ICE? Yes. Are they happening in Portland? Yes. Are local officials doing anything about it to stop those threats or push back on the people who are threatening ICE agents? No, they're not.
Every side is going to say, you need to stop this rhetoric right now, when the violence has been acted out against their side. And then when the opposite thing happens, they step back, distance themselves.
Meanwhile, the mayor's office responded to the claims made by Lars Larson in a statement, saying that the mayor has been unequivocal in his support for Portland's sanctuary city status and expressed concern about the federal use of force at the ICE facility.
A $4.5 million project, meanwhile, is underway to upgrade security at Portland's ICE office. Federal records show earlier improvements began in 2022 with stronger fencing, new gates, reinforced glass, and added lighting. The latest contract expands exterior security, including bulletproof glass, upgraded lighting, and protected ID card readers. In June, federal records show $220,000 were spent to board up ICE office with windows. Meantime, last week, Portland cited the building for land use violations, which included saying that the boards lacked permits and that the plywood must be removed.
We have new video to show you this morning of a Coast Guard rescue after a boat capsized near Waldport. So this is video from the crew at the air station in North Bend. It shows the Coast Guard bringing that man up into the helicopter on Tuesday. He was taken to the hospital, although at this point we don't have an update on his condition.
Your time now is 7:09. It looks like the sun's creeping up behind you.
Oh, what?
You know me, I don't like to brag, but our crack staff has located the sunrise.
We are good. We are very good.
It's going to be absolutely another gorgeous day. It's not going to be as warm today. We were, in Portland, 88 back on Tuesday. It was 83 yesterday, and today will hold in the 70s. But clearly, we are starting off with another beautiful clear sky start. Here's our state capitol down in Salem, McNary Field. You're at 50 degrees, nice, cool fall start. Looking to the west from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha, not a cloud in the sky. You folks are at 55 degrees. There are some 40s in the valley. And here is the map. The airport in Hillsboro, near the Reserve Golf Club, is at 48. Beaverton, Tigard, Sherwood also all in the 40s. It's 51 in Westland, 49 in Happy Valley. We have light winds, we have clear skies, so we're all kind of starting off the same. 52 up in Aurora. Good morning to you antiquers up there. And here's a look at Futurecast. So we start off with sun. There's some patchy shallow fog at the coast again, but sun's coming. There's a little wave of cooler weather, no precip with these clouds, but a cooler push coming in off of the Pacific waters that may bring some cloudiness passing us at some point later today into this evening. But that's it. We have a dry forecast generally with sun still all the way into Sunday. For this afternoon. Now, there will be 80s out eastern area of Oregon, 83 in Burns, 80 in Baker City, nearing 80 in Central Oregon, but the Dow's in the 70s, up and down I-5 will knock it down to the 70s today. Here's that 7-day, no big changes, 70s, all dry into Sunday. Rain comes in maybe at the coast as early as Sunday evening. We wake up Monday morning. Right now, timing would suggest it is raining in Portland. And we have basically occasional rain Monday and Tuesday and sun and scattered showers on Wednesday. Wednesday of next week is the first day of October. That's your forecast.
All right, Rod, thanks for that. We pick it back up with that traffic alert in Hillsboro, near the Hillsboro Hops New Stadium here on Bennett Street. You can see Hillsboro Fire and police still dealing with this serious injury crash. We don't have a lot of details at this point other than I can tell you footage journalist Eric Patterson witnessed the driver being taken out of that car with some heavy equipment and then transported here. The road right now, again, on Northeast Bennett is closed at this point. We're working to get more details. Your freeway drive on the west side, getting busier, but not bad yet. The trip in from Hillsboro, about 17 minutes. You really hit the brakes here at the Sylvan Hill, and that's normal for this hour of a Thursday morning commute. I-84 westbound traffic, a little slow and go coming in from the Gateway District. Not Gateway, that was Hollywood, excuse me. And I-5 from Clark County, of course, slow and steady at the Interstate Bridge. Right now, guys, it is about a 20-minute ride to get in from Main Street down to the Fremont. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, job hugging. And no, we're not talking about giving your coworker a hug. We're talking about a new labor market trend, what it is and why experts say it can actually help you in the long run. We'll look at some of your consumer headlines when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
A A slowing labor market has given way to a new trend for employees. Experts are calling job hugging. They define job hugging as employees sticking with their current jobs, even if they are dissatisfied with the position. It comes in stark contrast to post-pandemic days where a hiring boom gave job seekers an upper hand in the labor market. Careers experts say if you can't move outside your company, find ways that you can move up.
Go for an internal promotion, go for a lateral move across teams, go for a raise. Now is the time to do that internally because companies are investing in that internal movement, in that internal upward mobility.
They add that in times of economic uncertainty, employees who build new skills to stay ahead are expected to be protected from potential layoffs.
Starbucks has announced that it's closing hundreds of stores, equaling about 1% of its locations by the end of this month. Starbucks CEO says the move comes after a review of stores that weren't meeting customer expectations or simply weren't making enough money. Starbucks is also laying off another 900 corporate employees on top of the 1,000 jobs it cut earlier this year.
I have more to say on that. Meantime, seasonal jobs may be harder to come by during this year's holiday season. A new report shows the retail industry is projected to add fewer than 500,000 positions for the holidays. That would be the smallest number since the 2009 recession. Experts point to a variety of factors for this, including tariffs, inflation, and companies relying on automation.
So when you say, I had more to say about this, Rod and I both like spun around and looked at each other like, ooh, what's she going to say?
The Starbucks story.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I order a pretty basic drink and it's $6.75 or $7, I'm not going back. Like,
I mean, this is the time.
I don't often go to Starbucks, but when I do, I'm reminded every time of why I don't. Like they charge you 80 cents for one pump of like a flavor. So the entire bottle costs $7 maybe.
You're banning Starbucks from your
banning the price of Starbucks.
Well, you can't go if you're not willing to pay the prices.
Yeah, I think I'll just go to like local places. But honestly, coffee's just expensive these days.
Yeah.
Can I say two things?
Yeah. Oh, please do.
Mom and pop shops will love to hear what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we like to support local, want to support the smaller shops, no doubt about it. The only thing I will say about Starbucks, which I did not know until my niece started working there, any person who works at Starbucks has the opportunity to get a degree from Arizona State University for free through their online program. So my niece basically got her college degree for free from Arizona State online by working at Starbucks, which I thought is a pretty darn good
That's
deal.
a nice program, and I really am excited that some companies are choosing to invest in the future of their employees. Taco Bell started this some time ago. If you go through the drive-thru, they'll ask you if you want to round up, and it's basically for a college fund for their employees. And so I always round up. Sometimes I'll even give $1 or $5 because that's great. You love to see programs like that.
Not all these corporate giants are bad all the time.
All the time.
They're not bad every single day. Okay, here's a look at our rain potential map. This is for Monday and Tuesday. Now there is also rain chances showing up Wednesday and Thursday of next week. But let's see what we can pick up Monday through Tuesday. These numbers are up on the European model from what I showed you 24 hours ago. These numbers are in line with what most models are showing. This shows 1/2 inch or more at the coast, 1/4 to about 1/2 in the valley, and then some decent measurable rainfall amounts all the way out across eastern Oregon. These will be the final 2 days of September. Remember, Wednesday of next week is October 1. And the outlook for October is for decent rain. October averages more than 3.5 inches, and generally is a month that you would expect to be twice as wet as September. So we'll see what we end up with as we transition more and more into the fall season. We are watching this large area in red. This is red flag warning for gusty winds later today that could be up to about 30 to 35 miles per hour. That means high fire danger that a spark could easily grab and catch and start a grass or brush fire. So just keep that in mind if you're outdoors working or recreating from Hood River out through the Dalles and up into Goldendale. Haven't had a large, widespread red flag warning like that for a little while. And you folks haven't seen kind of a windy day for a while either, but we think you're going to get one today. The Dalles right now is reporting 20 mile per hour winds. See, the green is good, yellow is moderate. These are air quality reports from Oregon's DEQ. This is a much improved air quality map here in Oregon from 24 hours ago, so thumbs up on that. Beautiful clear skies up on the mountain. Timberline, what you got? 57 degrees. Noticeable breeze this morning, 11 northwest, gusting to 17 up on the mountain as well. Let me get over here so you can see this. The rising sun from our Salem tasting room camera out in Sherwood. 47 is the early morning number. There's the top of Providence Park and the sunshine over the West Hills this morning. 50, that's pretty close to where we are here at KGW, so it's a cool morning. The airport's 55, but Kelso, good morning. You folks up in Longview, 47 is your early number. There's the Dow's warmer at 64 due to a breeze that's showing up. For the coast today, some shallow fog pockets again, then sun is coming again. Little push of some cloudiness or partly sunny skies a little bit later on today. You're looking at temps in the 60s. The Dow's 79, Hood River 73. This is a nice little cool off from the last couple of days as well. There's that wind gust forecast up to 35 miles per hour. Salem 76. So the valley will be in the 70s instead of the 80s. We still have a dry forecast through Sunday. And then we still have the rain coming in Sunday overnight, Monday, Tuesday, rain at times, sun and showers Wednesday. Could be another system if it holds together, bring developing rain on that following Thursday. And that is your update. Here's Chris.
Wipers, check your tires, all that stuff, right, for the rain. All right, check it out, the Banfield. This is I-84 westbound out near the Hollywood district. There's your westbound commute, of course. That's getting a little bit tighter on that side of town. Right now, the drive in from Troutdale, about 21 minutes. Believe it or not, that's actually not bad for this hour of a Thursday morning commute. To Clark County we go. I-5 at the Interstate Bridge. Slow and go from there the rest of the way down through North Portland. So it's still about a 22-minute ride to get you in from Main Street. Let's take you up to Ridgefield. WashDOT's going to be doing some road work at the Ridgefield exit ramp on southbound I-5 starting at 8:30 this morning. The southbound left lane will be blocked for guardrail repairs. So that could create some extra local slowing in and around that. Of course, the Ridgefield exit ramp becoming more popular with some recent new restaurant openings. So it could be a little slow getting around that interchange later today. Drew?
All right, Chris, it is time to check our freezers again. That's because radioactive shrimp are back. We're going to have a look at this expanding recall and other national headlines when Sunrise continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Here's a look at some national headlines this morning with your morning rush. The family of one of the 67 people who died when a passenger plane collided with a U.S. Army helicopter over Washington, D.C. earlier this year is suing the FAA, American Airlines, and the Army. The family says all of those organizations failed to recognize the warning signs after more than 30 near misses were documented in the same area as the crash. American is already on record saying it will fight any allegation that suggests the airline caused or contributed to the collision. More families are also expected to join this lawsuit. Tens of thousands of bags of frozen shrimp are being recalled over possible radiation contamination. The shrimp were sold under Kroger and Aquastar brands in more than 24 states, including Oregon and Washington. This recall covers several raw and cooked varieties, including shrimp cocktail. No illnesses, though, have been reported yet. If you have this shrimp, you should toss it or return it for a refund. Last headline here, hundreds of federal workers fired in a cost-cutting push by the federal government earlier this year are now being offered their jobs back. An internal memo says the General Services Administration has given those workers until the end of this week to accept or decline the opportunity. If they do choose to return to work, they're to report for duty on October 6th. And that's a look at your morning rush. Well, after some confusion and uncertainty, COVID vaccines are now available at many local pharmacies, including Safeway, Albertsons, and CVS, with no prescription needed. Recent federal rules had limited vaccines to those over the age of 65, high-risk patients, or anyone with a doctor's prescription. But West Coast states, along with Hawaii, created their own set of guidelines. Pharmacists say patients were happy to see the prescription requirement dropped.
And of course, it's inconvenient for them. And also confusion because they didn't understand because it wasn't required in the past. And I don't blame them at all. It's definitely something new.
So at Safeway and Albertsons, anyone 7 years of age or older can get the shot, although children who are younger than that still need to get a doctor's note in order to get one. Coming up in the next half hour of Sunrise, Travis Decker, the man accused of killing his 3 young daughters in Central Washington, has been officially declared dead. But some officials in Washington say they're still waiting to close the case. We'll explain why. Plus, video that captured the food cart explosion earlier this week in southeast Portland. We'll explain how you can help some of the carts at that pod pick up the pieces. Sunrise continues live here at 7 o'clock right after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:29 on your Thursday morning drive. We pick it up down in the Aurora area, North Med I-5, specifically near Charbonneau, actually. It looks like we got a crash near the Highway 551 on-ramp, and traffic is now backing up pretty quickly towards Arndt Road. So give yourself some extra time to get around that. Back to your I-5 drive from Clark County, slow and steady over the Interstate Bridge as always, right? Door number 2 takes us over to the Sylvan Hill. That too is getting pretty busy. At last check, the I-5 commute is the slowest of the drives, 25 minutes. Your drive to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Rod?
All right, Chris, thanks for that. This is not scientific, but the sunrise seems huge today from the Wells Fargo camera looking off to the east. Going to be another sunny, gorgeous day. Maybe a little bit of cloudiness coming in later this afternoon, but that's it. There's the Salem sky camera for you this morning to start your day as well. And there's downtown Portland. We are at 55 degrees. It does appear we'll stay cooler today. I have us only 73 on the 7-day. We're still projecting dry weather through Sunday and then a rainy start to next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
7:30 half hour of the Sunrise Show. We've got more Guinness Book of World Records to tell you about. I'm going to explain what this pig is doing in a moment. Remember last hour, I believe it was, we talked about the tallest donkey?
Yeah.
And the donkey with the longest ears? Yeah. We love those guys. They're great. But man, I'm really falling in love with Norbert.
Norbert?
Norbert.
All right.
Norbert set a world record for skateboarding. He set the mark for fastest pig on a skateboard. He pushed his board 10 meters in 11.32 seconds.
And that had never been done before.
No one had ever pushed a board that far, that fast. No pigging.
As a pig.
If you're wondering what the heck is 10 meters, that's about 33 feet. Yeah, about 33 feet. But there you go. Good job, Norbert.
Norbert.
Getting his name into the record books. You want to say good morning to Norbert?
Good morning, Norbert. He looks like a Norbert.
Is that a pig voice? It kind of sounded like a pig voice there.
Oh, wait, that was a duck.
Wow. Okay. We're going to brush up on farm animals as Rod and Chris give us an update on weather and traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, the duck.
That's the duck.
You do the cow.
The best duck cow.
Yeah.
There you go.
The pig is.
Oh, that makes sense.
Maybe we're better farm animals than we thought,
I surprise you. I haven't spent much time on a farm.
If you're looking for a morning show to give you farm animal noises, by golly, you have found it on a Thursday morning. Here's a look at our Salem sky camera. We're off and running with just beautiful sunshine once again. Now let's see what temperature is in Portland. 55, winds are on the light side. Here's your day. Not as warm today, but we're talking 70s, we're talking delightful, and we're talking about temperatures near seasonal averages for late September. So 66 at noon, 73 at 5 o'clock. By the way, sun 7:02, that was sun up this morning. 7:01 it goes down. This is the first day that we will actually have more darkness than daylight. And here is Chris McGinnis.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. All right, let's pick it up on the south side of town, actually down in the Wilsonville area. Charbonneau, to be more specific. It looks like we've got a fender bender on I-5 approaching the Boone Bridge right near the Highway 551 on-ramp. I don't see it on our cameras here, but the traffic now is backing up past Arndt Road. So as you come in from Aurora, Donald, give yourself a few extra minutes to get around that. There's the I-5 drive from Clark County, slow and steady, of course, over the Interstate Bridge. Interstate 84, the Banfield, that's busy too. But so far, outside of the crash south of Wilsonville, I don't have any major unexpected delays just yet, guys.
All right, thank you, Chris. Starting our news headlines here this half hour with this. The Oregon Department of Human Services Child Welfare Division is searching for this girl on your screen in eastern Oregon. Her name is Jaden Robertson, 17 years old. Officials say she went missing from her foster home in Hermiston on Tuesday, and she's believed to be in danger. Police think that she could be traveling to Seattle at this point, so if you see her, you should call 911.
The U.S. Marshal Service has officially declared Travis Decker dead.
But the Chelan County Sheriff's Office says it's still waiting for DNA confirmation from the state crime lab before it closes the case. Our sister station in Seattle has the latest.
I would love to come out as the sheriff for our county and say this case has been concluded. Mr. Decker's been located. But we're just not at that point yet.
Investigators finally got a break last week.
Just the geographical location certainly put a high probability that this was Mr. Decker.
They say they found what is probably the body of Travis Decker.
We recognize that the clothing we found, the personal items, were consistent with images that we had collected of Mr. Decker before.
It's why the U.S. Marshals Service submitted a motion to wind down their search, writing to the court, defendant Travis Caleb Decker is deceased.
And I understand the kind of message that this sends. Somehow as a group that we've come to the determination that Mr. Decker is deceased.
But Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says that's not been proven.
I know our community, just like us, wants this kind of closure. We're there, but I will not say it unless I'm 100% positive that I can look my citizens in the eye and say, you have nothing else to fear. This case is closed.
Those DNA results are expected very soon.
We're very thankful for the U.S. Marshals Service.
The more boots on the ground, the better when it comes to searching the woods for an accused killer. But when it comes to managing public information,
they were not making a determination that he was officially deceased.
Maybe there's such a thing.
I don't believe there was anything intentional on their part, too, to cause confusion.
As too many cooks in the kitchen.
This was an emotional roller coaster for a lot of people, and hopefully we can say the ride's coming to an end.
you can hear it, you can see it. KGW has obtained new surveillance video that shows the explosion at a food cart pod in southeast Portland on Tuesday. That was the view from the Crystal Guide store right next to the Springwater Cart Park on southeast 82nd. The store and 8 carts were damaged here. The firefighters say a leaking propane tank is one of the carts that caused the explosion. And this Saturday afternoon, the store will hold a maker's market as a fundraiser to help with cleanup efforts.
Portland Fire says 2 people managed to survive after they bailed out of a car that caught fire on Highway 26. So this happened just after 11 o'clock yesterday morning on the off-ramp to the Oregon Zoo. Officials say the car was heading up Sylvan Hill when mechanical issues sparked an engine fire and caused the brakes to fail. The driver managed to pull over but couldn't stop, so told the passenger to roll out of the car. Then the driver did the same. Both were taken to the hospital. Multnomah County Sheriff, meanwhile, continues to deal with the case of a murder suspect who was mistakenly let out of jail this week. This mistake is being blamed on a clerical error, basically a paperwork problem. So here you see 26-year-old Tyler Sage. He remains on the loose after he was able to bail out of jail on Monday, even though a judge ordered that he remain in custody. Sage is charged with second-degree murder stemming from a shooting at a Gresham apartment complex 4 years ago. The judge denied bail for Sage during a hearing just last week, but the court documents filed from that hearing actually did show a bail amount.
Initial release order was signed on September 17th, which many of you have reviewed. It contained information that indicated that Sage's bail had been set to $5,000. We are taking this incident extremely seriously.
That was Multnomah County Sheriff Nicole Morrissey O'Donnell. She says her office is conducting a review at this point to see how communications with the court can be improved. She also says at this point no employees have been put on leave over this.
In Salem, police say the man is facing multiple charges after he allegedly exposed himself to a family, then shot at their car. So this was just after midnight west of I-5 in a parking lot in Silverton Road. 53-year-old Jeffrey Holland is accused of exposing himself to the family while they were in the vehicle, banging on their window, then going into the nearby shop he owns to get a gun. Police say he fired at the car as the family drove off. Officers later stopped Holland's truck and took him into custody. He faces several charges, including unlawful use of a weapon, menacing, and public indecency.
Federal agents in Western Washington seized more than 50,000 counterfeit pills of a drug that's considered 100 times stronger than fentanyl. This drug is actually used to tranquilize large animals like elephants. It is not approved for human use. Authorities say even a microscopic amount of this drug can be lethal. The pills were found inside a vehicle at a gas station in Centralia. The driver faces several federal charges.
Washington officials say recent cuts to fire reduction funding will put homeowners at risk. And the program began in 2021 to help homeowners clear brush, trees, and other fuels that can spread wildfires. It was funded at $125 million every 2 years, but is now cut to $60 million starting next year. One homeowner who lost her house in the Burdoyne fire told us the state funded work done on her property before the fire made all the difference.
To come back to it afterwards and to see that it had burned as predicted and where the treatments we had undertaken, the ability to protect our property the way it did so proactively, it helped immeasurably.
Officials say that they plan to ask the state for full funding.
All right, we're going to check back in with Rod Hill in the Weather Center this morning. Rod, we're inching towards the weekend, but we got to get through this Thursday first.
I love that story, by the way, because a quick takeaway is that isn't it cheaper to do the preventive work than to battle the fire and you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that sounds like a great program, and great to see that positive results are coming from that out in the gorge. All right, our day planner, here we go. It's not going to be as warm today, but it's going to be sunny. It's going to be delightful. Instead of 80s, we're in the 70s. You'll notice it not being as warm. You'll also notice this is still just wonderfully pleasant weather for late September. 50s out the door mid-morning, 63 at 11, 70 at 2. We'll be about 73 for a high. Sun popped up at 7:02. This is the day that the sun goes down less than 12 hours later at 7:01. So more darkness than daylight has begun, if you will. Northwest winds 5 to 15. Might see some passing cloudiness in our sky coming in from the west a little bit later on. Once again, we're seeing shallow fog pockets at the beach. Otherwise, it's reported as sunny. You can tell that from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. 44 right now. You folks will be in the 60s today. And again, maybe some passing cloudiness coming in a little bit later. There's the rising sun from the Wells Fargo building. Again, we saw the early morning numbers here in Portland are in the 50s. But we do have 40s in Beaverton and Hillsboro, 44 up in Battleground, 49 degrees in Happy Valley. Again, temperatures pretty close to average, 47 up in Estacada. Salem, good morning. You're right at 50 degrees with the clear skies. Ozzy, I just love the coloring of this dog, just so pretty. Dog of the day at KGW.com. Your dog will become our dog of the day. This is Ozzy this morning. Just attach your dog's photo and their name, and that's how you get your dog into the queue. That's Ozzy this morning. All right. We've got about 80 out east and about 80 in Central Oregon, 70s up and down I-5, 60s at the coast. Again, it's another dry day. Remember, we're expecting, and we're already seeing it actually, gusty west winds from Hood River eastward out into Pendleton today, as high as 35 miles per hour, high fire danger in your area because of those winds. Otherwise, Portland 7 days dry through Sunday. We've got the rain coming in on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Thanks for that. We pick it up with that traffic alert in the Charbonneau area, I-5 northbound. It's actually impacting traffic coming out of Marion County now at this point because this crash has one lane blocked just south of the Boone Bridge, and the northbound commute now is backed up past Arndt Road. There's the snapshot from Trip Check, and you can see that northbound commute moving along at about 9 miles an hour. Plan an extra 15 minutes for your drive to get across the bridge and into Wilsonville. All right, back over to the west side, the sun right in the driver's eye at the Sylvan Hill. It's that time of the morning where the sun glare is definitely impacting those north and those eastbound commutes. Meanwhile, over on the east side, westbound I-84, of course, slow coming in from the east side. You got about a 30-minute ride from from Troutdale, and about a 30-minute ride from Hillsboro as well on the inbound Sunset. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. Concerns over layoffs and other cuts in the Reynolds School District have staff, students, and parents there speaking out. KGW's Alma McCarty has more on what could be some tough trade-offs in East Multnomah County.
Students deserve better. Students deserve better.
Teachers and staff fired up at the Reynolds School District's board meeting Wednesday night.
Class sizes are too large, our caseloads are too large. It's only the fourth week and people are feeling burnout.
Last May, the district slashed the budget by 20%, a $25 million cut. That, in turn, led to more than 100 layoffs. Now, even more could be coming.
Student-facing staff are, in our minds, the people that we most need to protect.
Putting educators and support staff on edge.
We also don't have any real clarity right now on what those staff cuts would look like.
The unions for certified and classified staff tell KGW that since the district still has a $5.5 million deficit, furloughs might be needed.
We're talking about 10 furlough days right now, which is a huge amount of wages for our people and service days for our students, education days for our students, and it's rough.
As voiced in the board meeting, many agree neither furloughs nor cuts seems like a good option.
Reynolds School Board, you have clear frustration and confusion brewing within your school.
Board members at the end of the meeting firing back and arguing that the district is bargaining with the unions in good faith.
Federal funding for many of our educational programs is no longer being accounted for. State funding has decreased compared to previous years. And student enrollment has declined, affecting the further impact of revenue. Why isn't the union speaking truthfully about the real reasons why we're in this situation?
Again, that was Alma McCarty reporting for us this morning. We also reached out to the district, but haven't heard back yet. The unions, meanwhile, say there are several meetings on the calendar over this. One of them is set for today.
Ball game! You can't forget about next year. The Mariners are going to the playoffs.
The Mariners headed to the playoffs, as you just heard right there. This story plus more of your sports headlines when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
All right, we've got some sports headlines for you on this Thursday morning. The Blazers sale could be in jeopardy after Raj Sports, the ownership group behind the Thorns and the new Portland Fire, filed a lawsuit that goes after one of the investors involved in the pending deal. The lawsuit targets the founders of Panda Express. They're part of the group involved in the Blazers sale. The suit claims they violated a confidentiality and exclusivity agreement and aims to block them from any deals related to the Blazers. 2 weeks ago, a group led by Tom Dundon, you see him right here, owner of the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes, reached a formal agreement to buy the Blazers for more than $4 billion. It's not clear what impact, if any, this lawsuit will have on the sale.
The Hillsborough Hops just announced Adidas will be the team's 5th founding partner for its new ballpark.
We're excited to work with Major League Baseball, the Hops, and what it means to our entire ecosystem from a baseball perspective, all the way from youth to pro. And the opportunity for us to form deeper roots in the community through the lens of baseball and through the lens of what's going on out in Hillsborough, we're incredibly excited to accelerate that.
The new Hops ballpark is set to open April 7th next year, and you can also buy season tickets now by calling the Hops front office.
Here comes the 1-2. Ball game! The Mariners win!
For the first time since 2001, the Mariners have won the AL West. They had already clinched a spot in this year's playoffs, but last night's win over the Rockies sealed the deal on their first division title in 24 years. And yes, Cal Raleigh is still hot. Cal hit his 60th home run of the year last night. That ties Babe Ruth for third most in American League history. So my sons were debating who should be the American League MVP this year. Do you want to be a part of this debate or no, really?
I'll just exist. You guys go ahead.
No, it's not. It's between Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh. And my one son said it should be Judge because his batting average is like the highest in the league. On top of all the home runs, he's right there with Cal. Cal has a few more homers. But my other son says Cal plays catcher. What's the hardest position in baseball, China?
Catcher.
Yeah. So maybe the catcher with the most.
Not that hard. You got somebody throwing the ball right to you all the time.
At 100.
Well, there is that.
Yeah, sometimes those balls get in the dirt, right? You got to block them. You got to block the balls in the dirt. Get down. Get dirty.
Get in there.
I'm going to show you what I'm doing.
Oh.
As we come over here. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, who do you want to join you?
Who's batting?
All right, here comes the pitch.
Okay.
The ball's in dirt. You got to block that ball in the dirt, Roddy.
Yeah.
You
got to get down.
You got to get down and block those balls in the dirt.
So
that actually.
I don't know. Why don't the catcher just sit on the floor like this?
Oh my gosh!
Right? I mean, swing.
What if the pitch is coming in high?
What do you do?
Reach that
pitch. Yeah, that's a problem.
Right in the umpire's face.
Drew.
Oh, jeez. Oh no, we're going to go two hands under the pitch. Thank you very much.
Like a little rag doll.
Could you use your help, China?
No, that's all you. Catch your breath.
We are professionals. We're required to say that once a week. We are professionals. Here's our rain potential map. This is Monday and Tuesday. So we still have a dry 7-day all the way through Sunday. We still have rain coming in Sunday overnight. There's actually rain potential Wednesday and Thursday of next week too, but there's a front Monday and another one on Tuesday. And now this European model seems to match all of the other models. So obviously, I often tell you these numbers can be too high, but right now they show over 1/2 inch at the coast and anywhere from about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain in the valley. Now Monday and Tuesday are the final days of September, and it looks like we could have some rain on that Wednesday, which is October 1st as well. A little bit of rain in Nevada and Northern California today. That's it for the West Coast. We are all dry up here in Oregon and Washington. This is a wave of cooler weather. It's going to be coming in later today. There's no rain with these clouds, and they'll be thinning. So, we may or may not see those clouds hold together. If they do, we'll see kind of some passing partly sunny conditions later this afternoon. But this is just another gorgeous day. It's not going to be in the 80s like we have been. It will be in the 70s today. Calm Columbia waters from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront, looking there to the east. Just beautiful, beautiful morning, 54 degrees. It's like traffic is moving on the I-5 bridge okay. Here's the Oregon Zoo up in the West Hills. Should be a really comfortable day to be out enjoying the zoo or working or recreating. Again, highs will stop in the 70s, and right now we're 50 degrees up in the West Hills, very comfortable. Kelso, you're only in the 40s. Astoria is 44. PDX is 55. The Dalles has had west breezes already this morning, the 20s. That's why you're a little bit warmer, 64. There is that red flag warning for high fire danger. It starts in Hood River, goes through the Dalles, goes out into Pendleton. Westerlies in this area are back today for the first time in a while. Some gusts up to about 35 miles per hour. There's that little teaser, maybe some cloudiness passing a little bit later on today. Back to the gorge where you do have a red flag warning. Again, this starts in the Hood River Valley, extends out through the gorge into Pendleton for those westerlies. Gusting to 35, the Dalles 79, Hood River 73. So cooler in the gorge today than it has been the last couple of days as well. This shows Salem 76, just light northwest winds, 5 to 15. Southwest Washington numbers just up to about 70 in Longview, Kelso. And here's Portland's 7-day. Again, the quick glance here just shows really nice weather all in all, dry through Sunday. Then you wake up Monday morning, there should be rain in the area. We have rain at times into Tuesday, sun and scattered showers Wednesday. And right now there's a rain chance on that following Thursday as well as we get into the new month of October. And that is your forecast. Here's Chris.
Sounds like fall. All right, let's pick it up with another traffic alert in Hillsborough. Photojournalist Eric Patterson on the scene near Glencoe Road and Zion Church. A couple of cars and a pickup truck and a towing trailer here caught in a wreck that has this intersection really backed up, especially southbound coming down from North Plains down into the Hillsborough area. Give yourself some extra time to get around this. We're working to get more details on this, but it looks like they've put at least one driver, or excuse me, one person involved in this crash in that ambulance. So we'll keep you posted there. Another traffic alert as we go down to the Charbonneau area, north of I-5. Traffic is really backed up now because of this crash near the Boone Bridge. We're backed up about 3.5 miles, almost back to the Donald Aurora on-ramp, guys. So you're going to need an extra 15 minutes to get out of Marion County northbound to the Boone Bridge. Back to you.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
The city of Portland is looking to foreclose on 8 vacant properties. KGW's Blair Best went to find out the impact that these properties are having on the surrounding neighborhoods.
Take this building off St. Helens Road. Inside, as you can see, is filled with trash, broken glass, and covered in graffiti. Those who work nearby say it's been like this for years. On Wednesday, Portland City Council talked of foreclosing on 8 properties, sitting empty and in debt, like this neglected warehouse in Northwest Portland. City records show from mid-October of last year to late July of this year, fire crews were called to the property 3 times. Police have also been called 3 times during that same period for crime and disorder. The property owner is Christensen Oil. Records show it filed for bankruptcy in 2016. As of August, the owner owes the city more than $19,000 in liens. Sean McGrath works next door at Bridge City Steel.
I've seen everything from stolen cars in the building right next door, homeless people in here, kids like to come here and tag a lot. I mean, it's very frustrating. I mean, look, I work right next door and this is not eye-appeasing, whatsoever, and it does cause a big safety issue.
The city has not yet set a foreclosure date on any of the properties. A second reading and vote will happen sometime next week. Blair Best, KGW News.
Coming up at 8, the growing questions after a deadly shooting at an ice field office in Dallas. What officials are now promising after a detainee killed and 2 others were seriously injured.
Also at 8 o'clock, news from Starbucks this morning. The company says it's closing 1% of its stores in North America. That means at least 100 locations, including one of its most iconic stores. Where and why, coming up at 8:45. Quick break here, but when we come back, it will be the 8 o'clock hour of sunrise, complete with Rod's forecast